business. Sales can be a very challenging profession even on a regular day. At dahil sa pandemic, ang pagsasagawa ng harap-harapang mga pagpupulong o face-to-face meetings ay nagiging hamon para sa ating lahat. All contact is now done digitally through video conferencing, emails, or chat, which could potentially lead to miscommunication. Paano natin makukuha ang loob ng ating mga kliyente kung hindi natin sila nakikita ng harap-harapan? Yan ang ating aalamin ngayon. Ano nga ba ang strategies for success in remote selling? Tatalakayin ito ni Randy Bernardino, ang ating OFB correspondent mula sa Las Vegas, kasama si Mr. Paulo Tibig. All these in this episode of Open for Business.
Sa panahon na laganap ang mga sakit, katuwang nyo ang BMEG Premium at Protect Plus Gold. Gawa sa state-of-the-art facilities ang BMEG Premium Feeds. Kaya ito ay safe, sanitized, and hygienic. Walang dalang sakit, certified, malinis, sariwa at sigurado. At para laging malinis ang paligid, gumamit ng Protect Plus Gold. Isang safe broad-spectrum disinfectant na pumapatay ng mga virus, bacteria at fungi. BMEG Premium at Protect Plus Gold. Sama-sama sa laban, walang iwanan.
Ito ang ating himig.
Ang OPM. Ito ang himig ng lahi.
Welcome back to Open for Business. I am Las Vegas correspondent Randy Bernardino. With me is motivational speaker and entrepreneur, Mr. Paulo Tibig. Hello, magandang araw, Sir Paulo.
Magandang araw, Randy, at sa lahat ng viewers natin, hindi lamang dito sa bansa, but all over the world. Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat.
Thank you so much for joining us, sir. Now, today we are going to be talking about strategies for success in remote selling. Unang-una, Sir Paulo, why is this an important topic to talk about now?
Well, alam naman natin that pandemic ngayon, panahon ngayon, and basically, maraming businesses or negosyo are really coping up and trying to figure out ano ang pinakamaganda to still continue selling successfully, di ba? We have seen many businesses that have closed down. We have seen many businesses that really are struggling, and some of those, in a way, hindi makabenta. So, there, as we see, parang many right now are looking into ways kung paano ipagpapatuloy na magkaroon pa rin ng magandang revenue, na magandang profit ang ating mga companies or businesses. And one of those, yung key doon talaga is about remote selling. Kasi alam mo naman, Randy, that we cannot do it face-to-face, di ba? Although lately, we've seen some, pero on a hybrid or blended manner. But then again, how do we see now? Using a virtual, yung setup, using yung remote setup, na makakabenta pa rin tayo, and we can still convince, and we can still send, offer, di ba? And definitely magkaroon pa rin ng purchase from our products or services.
That's so true. So, sir, let's say I'm in the sales industry. Paano ba ako makabangon? Where do I start?
One, yung unang dapat titignan natin, we need to know exactly first the concept ng remote selling. Di ba? Remote selling basically is something that transaction or the offers and discussion are taken in different areas, more than one or two. Parang, for example, if you're coming, di ba nga, from Las Vegas right now, and I'm selling to you some product or services, and all the way coming here from Bataan, di ba, parang we can still do that. Merong mga pros and cons about it, everyone, no? So hindi lahat nakikita natin na okay siya. In fact, may mga tao na mas komportable sila doing the face-to-face. Yun nga lang, because of the restriction, can we do that? Diba? That's those are some. Now with this, there are advantages wherein we've seen some of which that is very related universally. Okay lang ba, Randy, if I may cite some statistics here wherein it helps to know that why remote selling at this point is really acceptable. Okay?
Sige po.
So, una, parang 81% right now of sales professionals find more yung conducive when you do your video meetings. Bakit? Siguro nakikita nila na mas effective, mas maximize nila yung time nila, and basically parang it gives them the idea na ang dami ko palang magagawa pwede sa isang araw, di ba? Normally ang mga sales professional or account managers or sabihin na natin mga account executive, kapag face to face, there are bosses that requires, or there are organizations that requires parang 3 to 4 sales calls in a day. Wow! Diba parang ang bigat-bigat noon, parang ang hirap gawin nung 3 to 4. Siguro, at this point, for some people who have mastered remote selling, more than 4 pa siguro, they can do that. So, and this probably comprises sales professional who really likes the setup right now. So that's just 81%, no? Pangalawa, many sales professionals, 63% of them, believe that it is more effective at this point. Kaya nga sabi ko earlier, sooner, even post-pandemic, baka makita na natin, hybrid na yan, blended na yan. And yun naman ang gusto natin, we can reach more people beyond borders, di ba? Beyond your typical parang zone wherein you can sell further. You can expand further your negosyo. Mas marami kang pwedeng mabentahan, mas marami kang pwedeng ma-reach out. So, yan yung nakikita natin. So, that's another, no? And there are ways wherein another 64% now who invest in social media as a platform to do this. So, Randy, ito yung sinasabi ko and to all our viewers, no? Parang bakit hindi natin i-maximize yung ating social media platform? Di ba? Hindi lamang yung TikTok lang tayo ng TikTok. Hindi lang pwedeng post lang tayo. Pati yung, alam mo yun, pati yung buhay na may buhay, pakikialaman natin. Di ba? Parang gamitin natin into a good use and worthwhile yung ating mga social media accounts. So, given with this, I think mas marami ngayon, and lalo na yung mga professionals talaga na sa selling, who really sees as a very good platform yung mga social medias natin. Yeah.
That's very good. That's true. I didn't know that.
These are just some.
I didn't know that it was so favorable now. Yung iba kasi, they're very traditional. Ang gusto talaga nila is in person. Yung style talaga nila, I have to see your face.
Yeah.
I need to see your reaction kung nagustuhan mo yung product ko. And minsan kasi pag Zoom meeting, naka-off cam. So minsan, I can't really see your reaction. How do I...
Well, I think yun yung mga we have to adapt and be relevant with what's happening right now. I think yun yung isang key. Unang-una yung core natin. Parang there's a need for that behavioral shift. Yun nga sinasabi ko normally. Kailangan magkaroon ng behavioral shift ang bawat isa. Wherein, parang you have to accept yung reality that this is now happening. You know, ang key dito, we have to coexist with the times. And the times tells us and dictates that if you're into the selling profession, you have to do this. Di ba? If needed nga, parang you have to upgrade yourself. Kumbaga kung minsan ang term ko nga dito, Randy, parang kung dati-rate, teka tayo, ngayon kailangan natin maging teki, baliktad ha. So ibig sabihin, hindi na tayo pwedeng maging teka lang. Kailangan maging teki na rin tayo. Even the basics of basics, the minimum and the barest minimum. Why? Kasi it is now it is the call of the times. So we have to coexist. So ang key dito is about what? Adapt and embrace what is happening around us. So kung tayo nandun, I think hindi lang din naman to pang sales, lahat naman dun sa workplaces natin, sa negosyo natin, how do you adapt? How will you stay relevant? And if innovation is not necessarily for businesses, for companies, personally, we have to also innovate. That's one of the things. Kaya nga sabi ko nga, the need for behavioral shift, kailangan mangyari sa atin to. It's really about attitude and mindset. Ganyan yan. Now, let me share with you also, Randy, and to all our viewers, ano ba yung ang term ko dito, the X and O's of remote selling. Yung parang bang the pros and cons of remote selling. I'm sure marami sa atin ngayon, lalo na, if you're into different industry, whether into your retail, real estate, pharmaceutical, FMCG, services, and the likes, insurance, lahat tayo, we need to know the principle, di ba, ng selling. But then again, what do we see right now to maximize o anong pwede maximize yung virtual or remote selling? Okay, first, the O's, so the pros, Una, it is more time efficient. Yan. Kaya nga, di ba, earlier kanina, sabi natin, kung dati-dati sa face-to-face, nahihirapan tayo ng ilang meetings. Ngayon, in a day, baka nasa atin ngayon, if you wanted to maximize yung oras natin, we may have 2 in the morning or 2 in the afternoon or even 3. We wanted na kunyari 1 hour or 30 minutes lang each meeting na yun, sales calls mo, okay lang yan. So, ibig sabihin, yung efficiency ng time, mama-maximize. Another O's, cost savings. Ang laki ng cost savings natin, di ba? Parang you can be in your uniform, you can be dressing like, alam naman natin, di ba? Kalahati, parang manananggal tayo. Sa ilalim, pwedeng naka-shorts. Yan ang normal natin, Randy, I'm sure. Tapos sa itaas natin, we can have our gear. So cost savings, pagkatapos, transportation, logistically, tapos kumakain pa tayo, tapos nagko-coffee pa tayo, and the likes, and so on. So those are cost savings. Ang investment natin would be what? On connectivity. Investment natin on communication. Those are the things. So parang, kung titingnan nyo, mas mababa pa rin yung magiging cost natin. Third on the O's, very convenient. Why? Diba? Parang anytime, anywhere. Diba? Pwede mo nang gawin. Diba? At the middle of, even lunchtime, if you really wish to have yung, parang ang maganda nga rito, Randy, parang, sige sir, ma'am, di ba nagbebenta ka na? Sir, lunchtime po tayo, magkaroon po tayo ng lunch meeting. While having your lunch, I'm having also my lunch, parang tipid pa rin, di ba? Parang cost savings pa rin. So, ibig sabihin, yung convenience, naroon. Yan. Ano pa? Recordable meetings. In face-to-face, hindi natin nagagawa. With this, parang ito na yung MOM natin, yung minutes of the meeting natin. We can send even right after the meeting yung ating recorded discussion. From there, 'di ba, parang kay client o kay customer, they will be able to review. Similarly, kung ikaw yung nandoon sa selling part o seller ka, you can also review what I have done good, anong hindi, anong dapat kong improve, ano yung mga na-offer ko, and so on, para this is a way to monitor what do you do next with your sales approaches. Another, you maximize your meeting schedules. Di ba? Parang everything now can be settled, everything now can be cleared with one another that this is related to yung time efficiency. Di ba? Related to time efficiency. So, paano natin i-maximize schedule? Do you want on a Saturday? You want ba na gabi? Any time of the day, pwede na. So long as your customer wishes that way. For example, ngayon, nandiyan ka, di ba, in other country. Kunyari, sample lang it's now 10 p.m. Ngayon, kunyari dyan. and dito sa Pilipinas, kunyari 10 a.m., example na lamang, still, you can maximize your meeting schedules. We are, di ba tayo yung mag-a-adapt eh? We are sellers. So these are just some of the pros or O's. Yan. Now, I'm sure, Randy, our viewers would like to know, ano naman yung mga hindi okay? What are the disadvantages also of remote selling? First, connectivity dependent. Yan. So, ibig sabihin, we have to have strong connection, internet, di ba? We have to invest on that. We have to have, kung kaya po, kung talaga pong regular na ginagawa natin ito, at least we have two internet provider para kung mag-bag down yung isa, meron kang sasalong isa. Meron din pwedeng parang meron tayong generator kung talagang kailangan if you really need to invest. Kasi kung everyday nakikipag-usap ka, everyday talagang ito ang trabaho mo, why not coconut, di ba? Parang how much is that investment versus the potential sales that you will get? So yun yung isa. So para hindi tayo maging dependent. Another disadvantage, it can cause virtual fatigue. Di ba? Parang, wow, parang araw-araw na lang ba, nakaupo na lang ako dito? Para bang wala na akong gagawin kundi maghapon nakaupo. Ang init-init na ng puwetan ko. Yung upuan ko lumulubog na yata dito. So ibig sabihin, how do we handle yung virtual fatigue? And we've seen that. Many people doesn't want to have Zoom meetings anymore. Parang they wanted to do some face-to-face. Lalo na ngayon, easing up a little bit. Some people right now wanted to have that face-to-face meetings. Di ba? Kaya nga sabi natin, it can be hybrid, it can be blended. So, why? Many are now virtually, di ba, nagkakaroon ng fatigue. Yan, that's another disadvantage, eh. And then, more prone to what? Distractions, di ba? You know, distraction can distract us. Our time, our effort, di ba? Parang kunyari, nandyan yung mga kids mo, nandyan nagluluto ka, nandyan na may ginagawa kang ibang project sa bahay mo, work from home ka. So, ang key dito, everyone, if I may share, and this is what I always share with a lot of engagement, we have to have that work mode mindset. Meaning to say, kung pag-upo natin dun sa certain area ng bahay natin, pag-upo natin ganun, dapat trabaho lang talaga. If we need to have our break, go ahead, break. If we need to have our lunch, go ahead, lunch, and so on. But the key here is about what? Less the distraction. I-less natin yung distraction. Now, next, technical glitches. Di ba? Why? Zoom, StreamYard, or other platforms, di ba hindi naman lahat natin sa ulo yan? Kumbaga, meron mga features yan. Honestly, dati-rati, hindi ko lang, ano yung mga annotations na yan? Ang dami-dami mo kailangan intindihin. Di ba pwedeng, pag nag-usap tayo, yun na yun. And there are cases that if you really, sabi ko nga, if you are really like techie, parang you can explore. Ang daming pwedeng gamitin to lessen some technical glitches and to maximize also yung mga platform natin. Kasi di ba, kunyari, Randy, kunyari, you're explaining something. Di ba? Parang, if you wanted to sell this, sell that, ito po yan, pwede kang mag-whiteboard. Honestly, ako, nagagamit pa rin ng totoong physical whiteboard. Pero in others,
notebook pa.
Ayan, notes pa. Para tayo. Yung iba ngayon, meron ng whiteboard annotation in Zoom. Di ba? So parang dun mo na ililista, dun mo na ilalagay, and so on. So these are just some of the, na makakatulong sa atin. But the glitches, nandun lagi nandyan. And then, lastly, as you mentioned earlier, sabi mo nga, we wanted to see the hand gesture, the facial expression of our kausap. So ano ibig sabihin? Engagement can be a challenge. How do we engage? If you are into selling everyone, how do you engage your potential account, customers, or yung kliyente natin? Paano natin mapapasiguro na, hey, parang I'm sincere with this particular discussion. You see this product, for example, sabi mo nga, kailangan kong matikman yan, food yan, etc. O what do you do? Padalan mo muna, tapos saka tayo mag-meeting. Taste mo muna. Kung okay sa'yo, go tayo. Di ba? That's, can be, mahirap talaga to engage, lalo na kung di tayo nagkakaroon ng face-to-face. So, these are just some, sabi ko nga, of the X and O's of remote selling.
Yes, that's such a comprehensive list that you gave. Marami na akong notes. But what's good about the cons is that you already gave the solutions, pag connectivity, you already know what we should do. And I think that's what people need to consider. Lalo na yung mga old-fashioned yung style nila sa sales. For me personally, I have an old soul. Ganon talaga ako kasi I like to see my clients and I like to see how they react when I say something. O sino ang nag-head nod, nag-notes, very interested, and that's how I feed off of their emotions. So how do someone like me na hindi talaga techie, how can I adapt and really embrace this new mode of selling?
Yung nabanggit mo, no, parang yun nga, 'di ba? Parang with what we're used to. And the face-to-face provides us with a glimpse of our customers, whether they like it or not, they are approving or not, or simply says, parang they are interested with our offer, no. One of those things na pwede natin gawin is really to really provide open-ended questions. Kailan kasi parang yung thought-provoking manner of our questioning with our customers. Unang-una, yung paano natin mapapa-oo sila, paano natin mapapa-realize that they will be needing this, it will be helpful to them, and basically they will buy it, di ba? Parang we don't want yung mga parang tipong close-ended lamang siya. With this, ang tanong mo, how can we adapt? Yun nga, sabi ko, by way of the manner of our questioning should be thought-provoking. Ibig sabihin, we extract, di ba, real sense of questions that will provide them the idea, ano nga ba talaga itong product o yung offer mong yan. From there, yun yung sasabi natin, the challenge of engaging our customers. Di ba? Kung doon, mapataste natin, mapakita natin, kung nasa real estate ka, i-tour mo, nadala mo siyang ganyan. Ngayon, iba pwedeng virtual tour. Pwedeng you take the shots of the property, kunyari nasa real estate, and then from there, you present, di ba, sa kanya. Parang ganyan. Now, if you're into other related services, how do you do that? Probably you invest on providing ABP. May corporate profile ka, and then parang ito yung ipa-flash mo, ito ipapakita mo, and then dun kayo magkakaroon ng discussion, and so on. Now, the key here, earlier I've said, it's about embracing. We have to really accept what is happening around us. Why? Remember everyone, lahat tayo, we need to sell. And if our competition is adapting to the changes, how to sell remotely right now, what about us? So anong kailangan natin? May mga keys kasi or checklists to be successful in remote selling. Okay? So ito po yung mga i-adapt natin. No? Nilagay ko po ito sa tatlong bagay. Spin off the engagement earlier. First, una, it's about our core. Meaning to say, the need for us to be engaged through what? Yung confidence natin dapat mataas siya. So ano ibig sabihin? Adapt and be familiarized to new selling platforms. So, kailangan natin mag-adapt with the new selling platform. Ano-ano nga ba to? Ito na nga yun, virtual. Ano nga ba ito? Pwedeng meron kang virtual brochure. Di ba? If you're in travel agency, you have your virtual tours. If you are into, parang generally, you can have a virtual brochure. By way of what? Probably PowerPoint, deck, presentation, then discuss. Those things, no? So ang kailangan dito? Familiarization. Why? If we will not be familiarized, hindi tayo magiging familiar with the selling platform, we will be having, alam mo yung hindrance of getting new sales, new account. Kasi kung gagawin pa rin natin face-to-face, what if it's not possible at this point? With the restrictions, di ba? Parang, eto na naman ba, naghigpit ba doon sa lugar na yon? How can you meet with them? Etc. etc. So, first key then to adapt is what? Effectively, confidence. Again, be familiarized to new selling platform. Okay. Another, Randy, is about content. Content. So ibig sabihin, we need to have a precise, on-point, and interesting content. So, dito na pumapasok, pwede naman ho tayong patulong sa, kunyari, sa kasama natin sa bahay, marunong ng konting graphics, o yung mga kasamahan natin, pwede na nating pa-outsource yan. Gig economy nga ang pinag-usapan, freelancing. Total, you have to invest on, in your profession, in your career. So, dapat, yung mga gunong minimal investment, you have to do that. Kasi, to make your content more interesting, on point, and precise. So, yan. These are key effective way. Now, another way to communicate it better and to adapt, you have to have yung clarity. Ano ba yung clarity? Yung appropriately, yung manner how you deliver. Diba? Kanina sabi mo, Randy, I'm more comfortable doing it face-to-face. Now, how do you now adapt doing it virtually, wherein the manner of delivery should be the same as you are in what? Face-to-face. Yan. So,
Oh, true. So many good
points. Na ito, ang mga effective way kung paano natin ma-adapt. Yan.
Yes. Okay, so we're going to learn more about all of these strategies for success in remote selling when Open for Business returns. Stay tuned.
Bank of Commerce. What we are is personal banking, where we understand that every deposit is your hard-earned money. Every loan is for good reason. Every service aids in your convenience. Every business of ours is meant to grow yours. We hear you, feel you, and we act on your every banking need. Bank of Commerce, an affiliate of San Miguel Corporation.
Welcome back to Open for Business. Today we're talking about strategies for success in remote selling with us, Mr. Paolo Tibig. Now, Sir Paolo, you were talking about the checklist. Can you tell me more about that?
Okay. Sige, eto, ganda nito, no? You can take your pens, everyone, no? Doon sa discussion pa rin natin. Unang-una, as a seller, we have to have that active listening. Yan. So, kung ibig sabihin, we have to really listen to our customers, whether prospect or existing customers. Why? Customers feel valued if they're listened to. Take note of that, everyone. Customer really value when they are listened to. So anong key doon? We have to master to be what? An active listener. Okay. Now, also with this, you can apply and use interactive and dynamic graphics. Yeah, kanina pinag-uusapan natin, clarity and the delivery o yung manner ng delivery natin. So with this, make it more interactive, make it more dynamic. Hindi naman yung masyadong flamboyant yung mga colors natin. Parang make it professional. Gamit tayo ng mga slides and animation if needed. And meron kasing Randy, merong mga statistics dito that 89% of people who see yung mga magagandang presentation, parang it is more effective when we sell. Kaya nga, so gamitin natin kung ano yung proper color, proper font type, etc. So it make it more appealing. Yun ang key dito. No? Use interactive dynamic visuals. Now, ano pa yung mga pwede? Ito para mas ma-engage pa rin natin. Apply the 30-minute before meeting rule. Yan. So bakit ko po sinasabi na kailangan i-apply natin yung 30-minute before the meeting rule? So ano ibig sabihin? The key here is about preparation. Para nang sa ganon, hindi mag-cram tayo when time comes na, wow, 10 o'clock ang meeting mo. 9:58, nandyan ka na at naghahabol ka, hinahanap mo yung mga files mo, the presentation that you'll be needing, tapos makikita po sa mukha natin yon. Yun po yung sinasabi ni Randy earlier na parang, di ba, we can see the gesture. Now, anong papakita natin? Yung nagmamadali tayo. Ayaw po natin yon. Di ba? So please, everyone, to avoid cramming and dead air, use the 30-minute rule before the meeting. At least relax ka na, nandyan ang tubig mo, nandyan ang alcohol mo, nandyan yung materials mo, parang you're relaxed, di ba? Parang, di ba? Parang makakahinga ka mabuti, and probably if you wanted to review, then go ahead, di ba? Review. Hey, on the list also, Randy, and I'm sure all of us will be needing this, dress to impress. Yan. So, ibig sabihin, if you're selling investment, if you're selling parang high-value ticket projects or product or services, you have to be like what? Katulad po ng suot ni Randy. Gwapong-gwapo. Di ba? So, dress to impress. It's not about impressing our customers, our prospect. It's about what? Di ba? Parang providing them, you know, the impression na we're, ang kausap ko matino to, maayos to. Di ba? Why? We have to be seen professionally, kahit virtually. Di ho ba? Sabi nga natin, honestly, hindi naman halata kung di tayo naligo eh. Di ba? Konting wisik-wisik lang dyan, ayos-ayos ng buhok, suklay-suklay, it's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Pero at the end of the day, we have to look professionally. Why? It gives buyers confidence. Yeah? That's one. Pangalawa, it commands attention. Yeah? Wow, si Randy, grabe, bukod sa gwapo na, ang dinding manamit. Di ba? Parang ganyan. Ganon yun eh. At pangatlo, lalo na, customer feels more valuable and important. Di ba? Kasi parang pinaghahandaan mo eh. Di ba? O hindi naman, pwede naman yung harap ng damit mo, planchado, yung likod, wag na. Kasi di mo makakita yung likod eh. No?
Do you recommend to do the Zoom background? Yung iba kasi may graphics pa.
O yun. Yung Zoom background mo, pwede namang virtually yung company name mo or yung product in itself, 'di ba? Lalo na kung kailangan talaga in a way, 'di ba? So, depende po. Ang key dito, yun nga, we have to see na we are professional. Our customer need to feel it, 'di ba? And need to see that true in its word, we are one.
That's so true. Okay, so now I know everything that you mentioned in the checklist. Ano ang next step ko? How do I win that sale?
Well, winning that sales, kasi merong yan may iba't ibang paraan, no? Remote selling is just one way. Pero remember everyone, you need first to have that product knowledge mastery. Kumbaga, kailangan muna nating maintindihan ano yung mga skills na kailangan natin. Diba? That's one. Why? First, we have to be trained. Sabi ko nga sa inyo, sa selling, we have to have that, ang term ko dito, Randy and the rest, no? In the zone state. In the zone state. Ano ba yung in the zone state? Ito yung, kailangan we have to have that natural high. Ibig sabihin, yung natural high, ito yung tipong we are passionate about the work that we do. Tapos, there's a joy and, may joy tayo dun sa ginagawa natin. Hindi pilit. Kasi, remember everyone, yung natural high na yon gives us the motivation continuously. Di ba? Parang, kasi, hindi pwedeng ngayon, remember everyone, pag nasa selling tayo, di ho ba maraming rejections, maraming challenges, maraming hindrances. So, the need for us to be well-motivated and continuously motivated, we have to have that natural high. So, ibig sabihin, we need to love our default career. O, sa totoo lang, Randy, di ba, marami naman nasa selling career, pero to begin with, hindi yan ang kanilang orientation. That's one. Maaring pag nagsisimula pa lang ho tayo ng trabaho, naghahanap po tayo ng opportunity, anything na pwedeng offer sa atin, ano po ang unang pumapasok? Magbenta ka nito. Magbenta ka nito. Merong opening dito. Benta. Di ho ba? Benta kang insurance, benta kang HMO, benta ka ng, anong tawag doon? Yung puntod, memorial park, memorial plan. It's okay. Nothing wrong with that, everyone. But, ang sinasabi ko nga ho doon, when you love that default career, and when you do good with that default career, it's your way to financial success. So, ibig sabihin, you get your natural high going. Yan po yung una. Pangalawa, in the zone state, you have to be in the game. So ano yung be in the game? Be in the game, you have to set yung mga skill set mo. Develop your skill set, ano yung mga training na kailangan mo. Dito natin lalabas Randy yung mga tinatawag ko nga yung product knowledge mastery. Do you know exactly how to do your customer profiling? Di ba? Do you know how to effectively conduct sales probing? Di ba? Barriers management, account negotiation, effective closing, and those parang series of sales approaches that you need to develop. So, ibig sabihin, we have to be in the game. The question will always be, for example, ito nga yung ito yung aking metaphor dito, Randy. Kunyari I do a lot of engagement keynote for real estate industry. Sinasabi ko nga sa kanila, parang hindi naman po pwedeng morning sun, morning sun, morning sun. Makabenta ka lang, morning sun and morning sun. Wait lang. Di ba? Hindi naman pwedeng maganda ang araw, yun na yun. Di ba? There's science in it, and if you want it to be professionalized, we have to study. We have to learn. In fact, marami ng courses ngayon related to that. So, pangalawa yon, be in the game. And third, mental toughness. And so, ibig sabihin, if you wanted to be in the zone state, you have to be mentally tough. Why? How you resist, how you absorb things that's happening around you. Katulad ngayon, pandemic, virtual selling. Are you mentally tough to do this? Are you going to absorb that what's happening right now can be used and can be your advantage? Those are the big questions. So with that three, you'll be able to see if you are in the zone state.
That's so
Moving
true.
on, yun ang tanong mo how do we move on with that?
You really have to be mentally fit. Kasi it's so true about the fatigue that you kahit nakaupo buong araw pero naka 10 hours ka nakaharap ng screen or on the phone all day, you really need to love what you're doing to give you the endurance to move on. So many good points that I'm applying already for myself. Tuloy-tuloy ang sulat ko.
Oo nga. Basta tandaan nyo po, kasi it's a principle, yung in the zone state, itong ginagamit normally ng mga athletes. Diba? You can see, diba, the best career of athletes in the NBA, in NFL, in baseball league. Parang, bakit pag-uusapan yung mindfulness? Bakit pag-uusapan yung empowering in the zone state? Why? Because they wanted to be what? They wanted to be motivated in every game. Parang, kailangan maipakita mo yung pinakamagaling na pwede mong performance. Similarly, in sales, I think, Randy, hindi lang naman sa sales to. When we are in business, when we are in our corporate career, di ba, kailangan nandun lagi yung motivation The question will always be, ano ang driver mo? What's your biggest motivation? Di ba? What's the reason of being? Bakit ka nariyan? Kumbaga sa Pilipino nga ho, bakit ka bumabangon tuwing umaga? Parang ganyan siya. Yun. So we have to be in the zone state.
Okay, so now I have the checklist. I have the pros and cons. Am I ready now to be successful in selling?
Given if you have that, yung alam nyo pag na-embed po sa atin unang-una, yung core. Kaya nga kanina pinag-usapan natin, we have to develop or transform yung behavioral shift. Kasi it's really about attitude and accepting the fact that we have to embrace what's happening right now. So una, work on your core. At the end of the day, even with the support of your company, even with the support of your team, kahit na anong kakapush sa'yo ng boss mo, pero you are demotivated because hindi mo pa rin na isasaayos yung attitude mo, yung self-improvement hindi mo ginagawa, then baliwala lahat yan. So, for me, it is really important to develop our core. Really embed the mindset of what's in store for you and provide that venue to give in, di ba? Papasukin natin, tanggapin natin na wala tayong magagawa. Ang sabi ko nga rito, Randy, we have to practice selling the virtual way. Why? It looks like it's going to here and stay. even post-pandemic. So ang key dito, adapt and then stay relevant. Yun. By way of what? Working on our core first. Then follows, work on in the zone state. Tandaan nyo lang po yung tatlo. Yung natural high. Diba yung natural high, again, the joy, the passion in what you do. And then you have to be in the game, the skill set that is required, the training that is required, and the mental toughness. Whether you resist or absorb. Having those three, ang tanong mo, kung magiging ready tayo sa remote selling, nakapaloob na lahat doon, nasa atin na lang po yan kung magiging successful tayo or hindi.
That's so true. All right, Sir Paulo, so many good points. I learned so much. I think our viewers really learned so much as well. And maybe they want to learn some more information from you. How can they learn some more information, sir?
Well, kung gusto niyo pa pong marami pa pong malaman, you can always get in touch with us, no? Parang search nyo lang po at Paulo Tibig in our FB page. That's PAULO. In fact, tama-tama, okay lang ba, Randy? Kasi meron talaga kaming, we have this public run of sales masters program na dito po nadidiscuss po lahat ng pinag-uusapan natin. Ito po on a more expounded na paraan at manner. So, if you wanted us to get your team motivated and trained, just email us. Bibigay po namin yung email na paulotibig corporatetrainings@gmail.com at yung amin pong other details, yung amin pong page. Doon lang po. Pwede po tayo mag-communicate and let's work on to develop you individually and also your team. Marami pong programa na pwede po tayong gawin at mag-collaborate.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Sir Paulo. More power to you.
Thank you. Maraming salamat.
Stay tuned to Open for Business. We'll be back.
Events happen around us all the time. In our community, in our country, around the world. Events that affect people, move communities, or simply inspire us. Interesting events that people need to know. In these interesting times, we continue to be a competent partner in delivering news about these events. Fast, accurate, balanced, eagle news, because we live in interesting times.
Samahan sina Wedge Kujamat,
itong balitang panggising sa ulo ng mga balita.
Apple David,
Sa 60 katao ang isinugod sa ospital.
Phoebe Publico
Economic sabotage ang mga tiwaling negosyante.
at Cristel Fesalbon
Pagpresyo ng gulay, makakausap natin
para iatid sa inyo ang mga kaganapan at pangyayari sa bansa at sa iba't ibang panig ng mundo. Mga napapanahong isyu ng bayan. May balitang sports, entertainment at iba pang kaalaman. Simula Lunes hanggang Biyernes, alas 5 ng umaga sa paborito nyong morning show, Pambansang Almusal, dito sa Net 25.
Pambansang Almusal.
Welcome back to Open for Business. Here are the trending business news around the world. Chip shortage driving French industry lower. The global shortage of semiconductors that has been plaguing the automobile industry is helping drive industrial production lower in France. Manufacturing of motor vehicles fell by 7.9% in May from the previous month due to shortages of raw materials in the automotive industry, the National Statistics Agency, or INCEE, said. That helped drag down overall industrial production by 0.3% during the month. Coronavirus pandemic lockdowns caused a shift in consumer spending towards electronics and a spike in demand for the semiconductor chips that run them. Modern automobiles can use dozens of such chips in their various electronic systems, and car makers have had to slow or idle factories when they have run out of supplies. French motor vehicle production was down 29.2% in May from its level in February 2020, just before the pandemic lockdowns began. Overall, French industrial production was 5.6% lower from its pre-pandemic level. Nissan unveils UK battery gigafactory as electric drive accelerates. Nissan launched plans for a vast battery gigafactory in northeastern England, where it will manufacture a new electric vehicle as companies and governments accelerate away from fossil fuel cars. Prime Minister Boris Johnson hailed the post-Brexit investment totaling £1 billion that is set to create an additional 6,200 jobs at Nissan's largest European factory as a major vote of confidence in the UK. Nissan's Chinese battery supplier Envision AESC will invest £450 million to build the battery plant that will be run on renewable energy and power up to 100,000 Nissan electric vehicles per year. The plant, which will be built next to Nissan's car factory and an existing Envision-run battery facility in Sunderland, is seen as key to the UK's transition away from high-polluting fossil fuel vehicles. The news comes after Nissan's French partner Renault this week unveiled plans for an Envision battery factory in France, as global car makers race to meet booming demand for greener transport and governments target net zero carbon emissions by 2050. The Japanese auto giant is to spend up to £423 million on Britain's all-electric EV 360 project, while Sunderland City Council will help to bring the total amount of investment up to £1 billion. Biden hails historic rebound as US adds 850,000 jobs in June. President Joe Biden cheered the historic US rebound from the COVID-19 crisis as the economy gained 850,000 new jobs in June, cementing the evidence of a broad recovery. The uptick was better than expected and came after 2 months of disappointing results. Buoyed by big increases in the hard-hit leisure and hospitality sector, the Labor Department said in its closely watched monthly report. With the latest gains, the world's largest economy has added 3.3 million jobs in the first 6 months of the year. This is historic progress, pulling our economy out of the worst crisis in 100 years, Biden said at the White House. The US president credited the massive American Rescue Plan approved in March and the rapid acceleration of vaccinations as factors fueling the economic revival. The unemployment rate last month ticked up to 5.9% from 5.8% in May, the data showed, and the jobless rate for Black workers rose a tenth of a point to 9.2%. The data also showed the economy is still short 6.8 million jobs compared to February 2020. And now to our job hunting segment. Every week, we will provide you with tips for first-time job seekers, for those wanting to advance in their careers, and even those wanting to start fresh and change professions. Now, today's resource, free online certification courses. Now, for a lot of you who may feel like that your resume is a little bare, a little empty, if you want to include more skills, then add more trainings onto your resume by enrolling on free online certification courses. These can be offered by LinkedIn or prestigious universities around the world. That way, you can show your prospective employer that you have earned skills to make you more marketable and profitable for the company. So that's today's job hunting tip. Stay tuned. Open for Business will be back.
Hey there, Arnie Aquino here at Hatley Castle, one of the filming locations for the X-Men series. Don't forget to tune in to Digital Nest only on Net25.
Samahan sina Wedge Kujamat,
Itong balitang panggising sa ulo ng mga balita.
Apple David,
Sa 60 katao ang isinugod sa ospital.
Phoebe Publico
Economic sabotage ang mga tiwaling negosyante.
at Cristel Fesalbon
Pagpresyo ng gulay, makakausap natin
para iatid sa inyo ang mga kaganapan at pangyayari sa bansa at sa iba't ibang panig ng mundo. Mga napapanahong isyu ng bayan. May balitang sports, entertainment at iba pang kaalaman. Simula Lunes hanggang Biyernes, alas 5 ng umaga sa paborito nyong morning show, Pambansang Almusal, dito sa Net25.
Pambansang Almusal.
Open for Business is back, and our business term of the week is sales lead. A sales lead is a person or business who may eventually become a client. Sales lead also refers to the data that identifies an entity as a potential buyer of a product or service. Businesses gain access to sales leads through advertising, trade shows, direct mailings, third parties, and other marketing efforts. So what have we learned today? The days of in-person sales meetings are still far away as the pandemic limits face-to-face presentation. Pero ang remote selling ay maaaring maging malaking oportunidad. Ang pagkakalayo-layo ay hindi na dapat maging hadlang dahil madali na ngayon na magsagawa ng online meetings. Now is a perfect time to sell, and it's up to you to tap into that success. And with that, our quote of the week is from Peter Drucker. He said, "The entrepreneur always searches for change, responds to it, and exploits it as an opportunity." Maraming salamat sa inyong panonood ng OFB, and thank you to our OFB Las Vegas correspondent Randy Bernardino and our guest Mr. Paolo Tibig. Samahan ninyo kaming muli sa susunod na episodes ng Open for Business. Learn more insights from CEOs, thought leaders, industry experts, and SMEs promoting business development in the Philippines to keep you informed and open for business and be ahead of the curve from vision to action. Panoorin din ang Open for Business sa Facebook at YouTube. Mag-subscribe sa aming social media at Net25 TV. Para sa Open for Business, ako po si Cesar Vallejos. We live in interesting times.
This program is supported by Bank of Commerce, an affiliate of San Miguel Corporation. We think customers. BMEG Premium at Protect Plus Gold. Sama-sama sa laban, walang iwanan.
Earthquakes, tsunami, and typhoons are facts of life in Japan. NHK World Japan has an array of disaster prevention materials to help. Be prepared for the unexpected.
Heavy wind and rain from a powerful
English language newscasts provide updates on emergencies.